The sky fractured above the Hidden Leaf village, a swirling vortex of chaos in the peaceful azure sky. A gaping maw of energy tore through reality, its edges crackling with raw power. Naruto Uzumaki, the seventh Hokage, felt a tremor in the air. His senses, honed by years of battle, screamed a warning. This was not a natural occurrence, it threatened to unravel their world. Naruto Uzumaki, the once boisterous prankster, had grown into the mantle of Hokage. He stood in his office, paperwork piled high, when an alien energy caressed his senses.
A wave of energy, raw and untamed, washed over him, sending a shiver down his spine.
Without hesitation, Naruto reacted with the speed that had earned him the moniker of Orange Flash. The rift pulsed, and from its depths a monstrous silhouette emerged. It was a titan, a being of immense size and power, its body wreathed in steam, its eyes glowing with an eerie light.
At the heart of this chaos, within the Titan's chest, resided Eren Yeager, a warrior from another world.
The Titan roared, a primal scream of rage and confusion as villagers scattered in terror. Naruto landed on the Hokage monument, his gaze fixed on the monstrous silhouette. The air crackled with unfamiliar energy, heavy with destruction.
Ready for this, Kurama?
It's your village, Kit, but yeah, let's show this overgrown lizard what happens when you mess with the Hidden Leaf.
Naruto grinned, a flash of his old self in the midst of chaos. He was the seventh Hokage, and he would not falter. With a surge of chakra, Naruto vanished from the Hokage monument in a blur of yellow.
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
A dozen clones materialized, targeting the Titan's legs and arms. The Titan, slow to react, was caught off guard by the sudden onslaught.
Rasengan!
Naruto charged, aiming for the Titan's exposed nape. The Rasengan connected with a sickening crunch, a shockwave of pure energy ripping through the forest. The Titan, its flesh scorched, was still standing.
Naruto slammed into the ground, gasping for breath. He poured everything into that attack, and it hadn't fazed the Titan. This was a creature of immense power, a force of nature. He needed a new plan, a new strategy.
Naruto wiped the blood from his mouth, his gaze unwavering.
Kurama, we need more power.
You're just figuring that out now, Kit? Fine, but don't come crying to me when you can't handle the heat.
A wave of chakra surged through Naruto, hotter and wilder than anything he'd ever experienced. His vision blurred, the world taking on a reddish tinge as his body began to transform. Golden chakra seeped from his pores, swirling around him in a vortex of untamed energy. The transformation was swift and brutal. Naruto's form shifted, his features sharpening as a cloak of golden chakra enveloped him.
Across the battlefield, the Titan seemed to sense the shift in power.
With a roar that shook the heavens, Naruto charged. He moved with a speed that defied comprehension, a blur of gold and black. He was a comet, a force of pure destruction aimed at the Titan. Naruto's fist, wreathed in crackling golden chakra, connected with the Titan's jaw.
The Titan's head snapped back, cracks spiderwebbing across its skin.
But the Titan didn't fall. It roared, lashing out with a fist of its own. Naruto ducked under the blow, pressing his attack. As Naruto battled the Titan, he noticed something peculiar. The creature, while powerful, didn't seem driven by malice.
Kurama, I don't think this thing is inherently evil. It's scared, confused, lost.
And what do you propose we do about it, Kit? Have a nice chat over tea and dango?
Maybe not, but there has to be a way to stop this without killing it.
There had to be another way.
Why are you attacking my village?
Naruto leapt back, putting distance between himself and the Titan. The Titan, momentarily stunned, swayed unsteadily. It looked around at the destruction, its luminous eyes wide with bewilderment.
Was it possible this creature didn't understand the devastation it wrought?
The Titan opened its mouth, a tortured, guttural cry emerging, filled with sorrow that resonated deep within Naruto's soul.
We don't have to fight. I can sense you're not like the others. You're different. You're not driven by mindless rage. Tell me, what are you fighting for?
Naruto stared at the Titan, his brow furrowed in thought. That sound, that raw primal cry, spoke volumes. This wasn't a mindless beast bent on destruction. This was a creature in pain, reacting instinctively to a threat it didn't fully comprehend. The question was, what was the threat? And more importantly, could he reason with it? He couldn't fight this thing forever. Even with Kurama's chakra, he was pushing his limits. Besides, the longer this went on, the more damage was done to his village, his home. He had to find another way, a way to bridge the gap between their worlds, to appeal to something beyond the instinct to fight. Closing his eyes, Naruto focused his chakra, reaching out with his senses beyond the physical realm. He could sense the immense well of energy within the Titan, a maelstrom of power that dwarfed even the Nine Tails. But there was something else there too, something faint but persistent. A consciousness buried deep within the monstrous form, struggling to break free.
We don't have to fight. I can sense you're not like the others. You're different. You're not driven by mindless rage. Tell me, what are you fighting for?
The Titan shuddered, its massive hands clenching into fists. The glow in its eyes flickered, the primal rage momentarily receding, replaced by a flicker of something akin to fear. Naruto pressed his advantage, pouring his chakra into his voice, hoping to reach that flicker of awareness he'd sensed. The Titan roared again, but this time the sound was different. It was filled with a raw, desperate longing, a cry for help that resonated with Naruto's own experiences. The ground around the Titan began to crack and shift as its form shimmered, the monstrous silhouette blurring at the edges. Naruto watched, his breath catching in his throat, as the Titan's form began to shrink, the glow in its eyes fading. The monstrous flesh peeled away, revealing a figure far more familiar. A young man with dark hair and piercing eyes, his body lean and scarred, but unmistakably human. The transformation complete, Eren Yeager, his human form battered and exhausted, collapsed to his knees. He looked around at the destruction, his eyes wide with horror and disbelief. He remembered the rage, the overwhelming urge to fight, to protect, but the specifics, the details of what had transpired remained a blur.
Easy, it's over now, you're safe.
Naruto approached cautiously, keeping a safe distance, but his stance relaxed, his hands open in a gesture of peace. He could sense the confusion, the fear emanating from the young man. He'd seen that look before, reflected in the eyes of those who had once feared him, the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails.
Where am I? Who are you?
Eren's eyes, filled with a volatile mix of fear and confusion, locked onto Naruto. It was the look of a caged animal, wary and distrustful, yet desperate for any semblance of understanding. This was just the beginning, the first step in a long and uncertain path. But as Naruto looked into the eyes of this stranger from another world, he couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. They were both warriors, both shaped by conflict and loss. Perhaps, just perhaps, they could find common ground amidst the ruins. Naruto studied the young man before him, sensing the raw power that still thrummed beneath the surface, now dormant. He saw the confusion in those stormy grey eyes, the lingering fear of a caged animal suddenly thrust into an unfamiliar world. It mirrored his own journey, his own struggles with the beast within. Understanding softened his gaze, empathy replacing the warrior's guarded stance.
This is the Hidden Leaf Village. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage. That means I protect this village, this land.
He paused, gauging the young man's reaction, hoping for some sign of comprehension. Eren flinched at the word protect, a flicker of pain crossing his features. The weight of his actions, the destruction he'd wrought while trapped in his Titan form, was already settling upon him. Naruto recognized the signs, the self-recrimination of a warrior who'd been forced to unleash his power without control.
You said your name was Eren. You're not from around here, are you? I can sense a different kind of energy within you, something powerful and lost.
Eren's eyes widened slightly at Naruto's words, a flicker of surprise momentarily eclipsing the fear. He looked at the outstretched hand, hesitant, wary. Trust didn't come easily, especially not after the battles he'd fought, the horrors he'd witnessed. His world, his reality had been shaped by conflict, by the constant threat of annihilation.
Another world?
The concept seemed unfathomable, yet it explained the strange energy he felt permeating this place, the vibrant life force that thrummed in the very air. It was so different from the desolate landscapes he'd become accustomed to. He struggled to reconcile the peaceful serenity of this village, the laughter of children playing in the distance, with the carnage he himself had inflicted just moments ago. The weight of his actions, the memories of the Titan's rampage, threatened to drown him in a sea of guilt and despair.
How? How did I get here? What was that thing I turned into?
Eren pushed himself to his feet, his legs trembling beneath him. He had to understand, had to make sense of this impossible situation. Naruto watched Eren closely, seeing the young man grapple with the aftermath of his transformation, the burden of the power he wielded. It was a struggle Naruto knew all too well, a mirror reflecting his own turbulent past. He'd spent years battling the Nine Tails within, fighting for control, for acceptance. He saw that same battle raging within Eren, the fear and confusion intertwined with a raw, almost desperate longing for understanding.
It's a long story, but you're not the only one who knows what it's like to carry a monster inside.
You understand? Eren looked at Naruto, truly seeing him for the first time. He saw the strength in those cerulean eyes, the unwavering determination tempered by a deep well of compassion. He saw the scars, both physical and emotional, etched upon Naruto's face, a testament to a life spent battling unimaginable odds. And he saw the echoes of his own pain, his own struggle for control, reflected back at him.
More than you know, I spent a good chunk of my life being feared, hated, even by the people I was trying to protect. All because of the power I carried within me. The words seemed to catch in his throat, as if voicing them aloud made them too real, too terrifying to bear. He'd always felt so alone, so different, burdened with a power he never asked for, a curse disguised as a gift.
Eren absorbed Naruto's words, letting them sink in, offering a sliver of hope in the midst of the chaos he'd caused. It was the first time he'd encountered someone who didn't recoil in fear or judge him for the monster he could become. This Naruto, this Hokage, saw beyond the Titan, beyond the destruction. He saw Eren, the scared kid, thrust into a war he never wanted, burdened with a power he never asked for.
But it doesn't have to be that way. You can choose how you use that power, Eren. You can let it control you, consume you, or you can rise above it. You can become something more.
Naruto's words resonated deep within Eren, stirring something akin to hope within his weary heart. Was it truly possible to control this power? To harness it for good instead of succumbing to its destructive impulses? Could he, like Naruto, find a way to use his burden to protect, to become a beacon of hope instead of a harbinger of destruction? The rift in the sky, once a gaping maw of chaotic energy, began to stabilize, its edges shimmering like fading embers. It had served its purpose, bridging the chasm between worlds, bringing Naruto and Eren together in a clash of titans and ninjas. But now, it was time for it to close, to allow these two disparate realities to return to their natural order. Naruto watched as Eren stood at the edge of the shrinking rift, his gaze distant, lost in contemplation. The young man had been through a lot in a short time, flung into a strange world, forced to confront the devastating consequences of his own power. Yet through it all, Naruto sensed a change in him, a glimmer of resolve hardening those stormy grey eyes.
I can't stay. My world, my fight, it's not here.
He looked at the destruction surrounding them, the scars of their battle, a stark reminder of the power he wielded, the weight of responsibility, the knowledge that he could become a weapon of unimaginable destruction sat heavy on his shoulders. Naruto nodded, understanding in his cerulean blue eyes. He didn't need words to comprehend the weight of Eren's burden, the pull of a destiny yet to be fulfilled. He too had walked a path fraught with conflict, his life a testament to the sacrifices demanded by peace, by the responsibility that came with wielding great power.
I know. You have your own path to walk, your own battles to fight.
He placed a hand on Eren's shoulder, a gesture of solidarity, of shared understanding between warriors who had stared into the abyss and emerged forever changed.
But that doesn't mean you have to face it alone. Remember what I said, Eren. You have a choice. You can be consumed by the power, or you can rise above it, become something more. Fight for the future you believe in, even when the odds seem insurmountable.
Eren met Naruto's gaze, a silent promise passing between them, a flicker of shared determination in the depths of their eyes. He'd arrived in this world a stranger, a force of destruction unleashed, but he was leaving with a newfound clarity, a glimmer of hope kindled by the empathy of a kindred spirit. Naruto's words, his unwavering belief in the power of choice, resonated deep within him, a beacon cutting through the darkness. With a final nod, a silent farewell, Eren turned towards the shrinking rift. He took a step, then another, the swirling energy parting before him like a curtain drawn on a fleeting dream. He didn't look back, but Naruto could sense his gaze lingering, a silent promise etched upon the air. Naruto remained standing there long after the rift had closed, the echoes of Eren's chakra fading into the fabric of his own world. The sky above the Hidden Leaf village was clear now, the air washed clean by a gentle breeze. He looked around at the village, the scars of battle a stark reminder of the conflict that had just transpired. But amidst the rubble he could see the villagers rebuilding, their resilience a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity.